Stephanie White needs to go. And to them, I say, welcome. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to the Fire Stephanie White bandwagon, the Fire Stephanie White train, the Stephanie White needs to go parade. Welcome. Welcome to town. Please get cozy, find a local bar, have a beer, kick your feet up, enjoy yourself. Stephanie White needs to go. The don't overreact, it's still early in the season crowd gets laughed at. Because before you know it, we're more than 1/3 the way through the season, and the team still has no offensive or defensive identity. Conspiracy theorists, overreact crowd, and the bots seem to have known what they are saying. What a surprise. Remember, I was saying this in preseason. Guys, this is an issue here. We have an issue on our hands. There's no offensive identity. The team's too small.
Welcome back to WNBA Trends, where we break down what's actually happening behind the noise. The Indiana Fever have Caitlin Clark. They have a brand new $78 million practice facility. They have one of the strongest organizational brands in basketball. They also just lost to an expansion team by 16 points, and their most loyal fans have started canceling League Pass. That disconnect is everything. Let's start with the numbers because they tell the story fast. Indiana sits at 9-7, barely above 500, 1/3 of the way through the season. That's not disastrous. It's also not acceptable when you're this far into your championship window. Saturday night in Atlanta should have been a warning. Instead, it became a confirmation. First quarter belonged to Caitlin Clark. She dropped 26 points on 11 of 18 shooting. Indiana led 37-30. The offense was humming. Then something broke. Atlanta outscored Indiana 15 points in the third, while the Fever scored just 15. That alone killed the game. The final was 113-96, a 17-point loss to a team that's supposed to be rebuilding. Here's what made it worse. It wasn't one player having a great night. Tina Charles had 24. Alicia Gray scored 22. Angel Reese added 18 and 8. 4 different scorers getting theirs. 4 different defensive breakdowns Indiana couldn't stop. That's the thing fans keep yelling about. There's no defensive identity. There's nobody guarding anything consistently. On offense, it gets messier. Kelsey Mitchell went 5 of 13 and finished -18. The complaint about Mitchell isn't random noise either. It's specific. When Indiana's offense stalls, Stephanie White turns to one-on-one basketball instead of running through Clark, who might be the best passer in this entire league. Mitchell is a real scorer. She dropped 27 the week before against Toronto, but Saturday was brutal, and it fed into something bigger. Indiana turned the ball over 19 times. Atlanta turned those into 18 points. The Dream scored 20 fast break points. The Fever managed 2 steals the entire night. 2. That's execution collapsing. That's effort disappearing when it matters.
Here's the thing, though. The bench outscored Atlanta's unit 34-18, so this wasn't about depth falling apart. This was the starters going sideways and nobody adjusting. That lands on coaching. That lands on how the team is built around one player who needs the ball in better situations. But Saturday wasn't the first warning. Go back to May. Indiana lost to Portland 100-84. Portland was an expansion team playing their first season. The Fever got embarrassed by a franchise that didn't exist a few months earlier. That should have been the moment everything changed. Then came back-to-back losses to Atlanta. June 18th at home, 108-107. June 20th on the road, 113-96. The Dream swept both. Swept them without making any adjustments in between that anyone could see. Indiana looked the same in Game 2 as they did in Game 1. Same problems, same solutions, same results. Now, here's where this gets dangerous for the people running this franchise. They're not just losing games, they're losing the people who showed up for Caitlin Clark. Listen to what fans are describing. One subscriber taped the games. He started them 30 minutes late so he could fast forward through everything that wasn't Clark minutes. Then he got to a point where he couldn't finish games anymore, so he canceled League Pass entirely. That's not a hater talking. That's a paying customer walking away. 2 years ago, Caitlin Clark turned the Fever into appointment television. The entire league's ratings went up. Casuals bought League Pass because of her. Everyone knew this was the gamble. She played 13 games last season before injuries ended her run. The entire 2026 bet was health plus a full season. When your most loyal viewers start tuning out, that's bigger than any single box score. That's structural. The frustration swells into the front office. Amber Cox became general manager in October 2024. Kelly Krakow runs basketball and business operations as president. The fan argument isn't that they don't spend money, it's that they spend it everywhere except where it shows up on the floor. The Fever committed that $78 million to a new downtown practice facility. Land was acquired through a no-bid process. Critics pointed out that affordable housing could have gone there instead. The mayor called it a commitment to women's sports. The team called it infrastructure. What it actually is evidence of an organization that invests in everything but the team that plays games. That's the tension. You build a championship-caliber organization off the court. You spend like contenders, but on the court, you play like you're rebuilding. That gap is where the trust breaks.